Hey everyone! Alright, so here's my next tutorial, and it's for Beyonce's makeup in Why Don't You Love Me. A lot of people requested this, and I think they wanted to see just the more prettier version of this look, like the pre-crying version of this look. But the one thing about that I have to say is in that video, when she did have her eyes done up like this with the like grays and stuff in her crease, her makeup was never perfect because she already had the tears started in the video. So the whole beauty behind that look and the reason the look stood out so much is because of the tears from all the crying and everything. On its own, it's a pretty standard look. It's pretty basic, simple, and kind of boring. But with the tears and making it look like this and ruining the look a little bit, that's what actually made it stand out. So I thought I would do that, but I also got a few requests. I think I got 2 of them from people who wanted to know how to make your makeup look like you cried it off. So this is perfect because it's killing 2 birds with 1 stone. But before I get started, I don't really go into too much detail about the actual eye like a makeup for like pre-crying. I actually explain more on the side of how to make it look like your makeup is crying off and smudged and wet and everything, only because there's already a ton of tutorials on YouTube that show you how to do the pretty version that's not cried off. And like I said already, the beauty was actually in the fact that the makeup was messed up and cried off. So yeah, but with all that said, let's just go right ahead and get the tutorial started. First step was taking Petrilude Paint Pot from MAC. It's just a nice creamy tan color. Put that all over my lid in the crease up to my brow very lightly. Then I went in with Bark from MAC. It's a nice gray color with a little bit of like a violet undertone to it. And then I used a little itty bitty brush like this to apply this in my crease. One thing I'd like to point out is besides the wing that of course she has, instead of bringing this over and then going down like most people normally would, if you actually pay close attention to it, the way her eye is shaped, it actually just goes straight across right here, right over to the bridge of her nose. So if you want to mimic that as well, you could do it. Otherwise, just do the eye makeup that best fits your eye if you're actually wearing this as a look. It also wings out on the bottom, so you can put a little bit there as well. And then I'm going to go in with this color right here, which is Naru. That's a MAC shadow. It's just a nice dark gray that is matte. And then same thing, put it on, tap off the excess, and then just go in and place it wherever you need it. Now I'm just going in with like a cream colored pencil. This one is Val from Illamasqua, but I just filled in that area right there, and then put a little bit right here because I'm more so an observant type, and I noticed in the video she had some right there as well. So yeah, I just threw that on and then blended it with my finger, only because I'm doing the during and post crying look. I'm not doing the pre-cry look that was all fancy and beautiful and perfect. So yeah. Now that the white is on though, or the cream color, I'm going to go in and do the liner. Winged liner, I'm not going to get into too much info about how to make them even, only because I'm doing a whole quick tip video on that, but I'm using the super skinny marker from NYX. So I put my liner on, I put it thick, uneven, sloppy. That is like the worst wing, but I love it. It fits the look. Only reason I did it. But now that I have that on, I'm going to start messing up the look. You could do more underneath here, but what I'm going to do is going to be the messy part, so I see no point in putting anything fancy and pretty on right now when I'm just going to mess it up anyways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pencil liner. This is Feline Coal Power from MAC. You could use any black eyeliner, it doesn't matter, but very quickly I'm just going to line my bottom waterline. I'm going to take that same pencil, and then I'm going to close my eye a little bit, and the liquid liner already took care of it a little bit. You can see it transferred before it dried, but in order to kind of make it look messy without making it look like you did it yourself and that it just happened, you don't really want to draw with the liner. What you should do is just take it and then just go right in there and do like a few little dabs, just very light dotting. But you don't want them to be perfect and like in a straight line. And then I'm also going to do the same thing, but I'm going to do it on the bottom, right here on this inside corner. But really, really, really want to concentrate on this outside corner, because even when your makeup is just running on its own, you'll probably notice the outside corner gets messed up pretty easily, and that's the area that's a little bit more smudged. Now we're getting into the fun part where we're really, really, really messing it up. So what I did is I took some MAC Gloss Texture Cream, or you could use like glycerin or just any kind of clear, liquidy, glossy product. I wouldn't really recommend using lip gloss on your eyes. I don't recommend it. I recommend using like an eye safe gloss, so that's why I'm using the MAC one. Then I just put some of it on this little like template or palette, I guess you would call it. And then I picked up a little bit of that Naru eyeshadow on a concealer brush, and then I just swished it around in there, so now I have some of the color on my brush, but not a ton that it's like pure pigment. It's just a very, very sheer amount of color. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a mirror that I can hold in my hand so I can see what I'm doing. And then on that area that's in my crease, I'm just going to tap this right on top of it. Then I'm going to take my finger and I'm just going to tap right on top of that. You can see it's different on each side. It's not exactly the same because your makeup wouldn't wear off exactly the same if you were crying. And then I'm just going to go back in with that gloss. And then same thing. I'm just going to dab it right on top of these areas right here. Then I'm going to go in with my finger yet again, and on this inside corner, just blot some of it away. The outside corner, I'm just lightly going to tap, because I want to leave most of like the darkness and the smudginess and everything. I want to leave it there. So I'm just going to lightly tap. And now I have that. Fun. Now to make it look like you actually had tears and like they were streaming down your face, you can do as much of this as you want, but I'm taking that same brush. Again, I'm not picking up any more color than what was already on it, and I'm just picking up more of that gloss texture cream. And I'm gonna like map out the way I want these. So I want like a really long one. So I'm just going to use the gloss on its own and just draw it out. You can probably see the glow from it, or the shine rather. I'm just getting like a nice rough idea of what I want to do, because if I mess this up, I can just wipe it away since there's no color to it. But I'm gonna bring this one down pretty far. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick up a little bit of that gloss cream that has a little bit of the gray to it. But again, you don't want a ton of color. And then you can just actually start in the darker area, right here, and pull some of the color down. And that's going to make it look like the color was cried out. And just take that down as far as you want it. And I'm just going right over what I already did. And pretty much just have fun with it, I guess. Like, just do whatever you want. You can make this as dramatic or not as you want. If you don't want them to look like they're wet, or to make it look like everything was dried and you finished crying and you just haven't fixed your makeup yet, go ahead and take like a translucent setting powder or like an invisible set powder, and then just lightly tap that over the gloss areas, and that'll matte them down. All you do is seriously take a brush with the little powder on it, and then you can just go like this, and you can see that starts to matte them down. Then after you decide if you want to do a powder or not or anything like that, go ahead and you can do false lashes if you want to, but I just take a mascara and do a few really thick, goopy layers of it so my lashes clump together, so it helps with the effect that I was indeed crying. So I'm just going to do that on the top and then do just a little bit on the bottom. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You can see this side I got a little crazy and had a little more fun with it, but maybe this side was like my more runny side, and this is the side I rubbed my eye on more, and this one was not. But you can see, you can tone it down, you can have a little bit more dramatic. You can do whatever you want with it. So yeah, I hope this takes care of the requests for this video, even though I'm sure this isn't what you were expecting. And then this will also take care of the requests that I've gotten, a few of them actually, for makeup to make it look like you cried off your makeup. So yeah, hope it was helpful to some of you, and until my next video, I will talk to all of you soon. Bye.